Game number 3 then is gonna be between Shelty and Shadowfax on Oasis. It's gonna be a Ramira. We are still on the hybrid, so basically vanilla rules. So we should be seeing pretty much a faster heroic we'll be expecting for both players. And let's see who's gonna be a bit more efficient and what kind of build orders they're gonna be doing. It's gonna be different or not. You can see already the difference in there. As Shadowfax is going for a build order, with first coming for the monumental villages, then coming for the berries that are hidden in the corner in there. Kind of partly blocked by the tower, not entirely ideal, but shouldn't be that much of an issue. As well, apparently Shelty is gonna be starting with the granary, but switching into another one right into the middle of the zebras. So that's of course gonna be advantage right him from there. For him right from there, with the hunting dogs being researched. And for the opponent, it's probably gonna be either a bit of scouting, or he's gonna be coming for husbandry, because usually when you didn't scout the hunt on Oasis, husbandry is better, because it kinda helps as well. He's scouting with the Pharaoh all around to Serkaf to see if maybe he's gonna be discovering some extra hunt for himself. Same is right now true for Shelty. So already from the start, you're gonna be seeing a bit of a difference. And I'm definitely curious who's gonna be playing better, because Shelty, even though he is more or less a more Norse main, he is quite skilled with Norse or other with Egyptians as well. But especially on Titans. On Vanilla, it's a whole lot different. And I'm really expecting that Shadowfax should be having a bit more comfortable game, because of course he is the vanilla expert and he is also an Egyptian main from what I can see in his past games and what he's using in the tournaments. For example, also in this one. Okay, so plenty of leeches of course on the foot already. It's gonna be how many? About 7 here. For the opponent we're looking at 5 with hunting dogs of course, so he's having a bit different game for himself. They're not having any kind of extra right now coming for the husbandry, since he didn't find any kind of hunt. He did find only a few baboons on the right side, but he's gonna be discovering the zebras a bit later. They're gonna be somewhere. Oh, there they are. There he is, actually looking out of the darkness, but it so far doesn't seem like there's gonna be extra hunt all that much. You can see there are a few gazelles, so they should be also available to the opponents somewhere in the darkness here, and maybe a few giraffes as well, though I don't think so. This seems like really a very low hunt spawn of Oasis. So let's see if it's gonna be exactly continuing in that regard, as plenty of goats are gonna be taken for Shadowfax, and that's also another reason why he went for the husbandry, because at this point, with all of those goats, the longer he has husbandry, the more food are they gonna be having. Of course, once he gets, rather once he has the need for them, sorry. So far what we can see are, for example, secondary TCs. Let's, for example, switch off. That's gonna be 2 giraffes for him. But that is really pretty much it. So hunting dogs here are not exactly all that efficient. Maybe even the baboons are gonna be right now useful for Shelty, but he's probably not gonna be seeing them yet. No, he doesn't see them, so he's gonna have to wait for that. But otherwise, the gold mines, they are safe for Shadowfax. For Shelty, it's not really that bad either. He's right next to the tower, so not really any kind of problem for him. Whereas the closest by, that's good. That's good. Having a gold right next to the second TC, that's kind of alright. And he does have another one in this way, basically, as well. So with the one in the middle, it's gonna be a pretty sweet spot for him. But it seems like that it's not really that different for the opponent. This one is gonna be pretty sweet also. It's very close. Very close indeed. As for the opponent, it's literally the same for Shadowfax. And he will be having similar gold mine next to the TC at the top side, though it's not entirely right next to it. So it could be going a bit better. But it's not really that tragic either. It's not really that bad when you think about it all around. Anyway, there's a relic, which is, oh well, better caravans. That's a very good relic to have. On a map like this, in an Egyptian mirror. And where is the next relic? It's gonna be some pharaoh already taking it. Yeah, it's gonna be Userkaf from Shadowfax. And it is cheaper walls and gates. And that's gonna be coming into play. On a map like this, you definitely want to wall the middle of the map, especially with the gold in there, so that you can take it for himself, or rather for yourself. And then on the sides, you definitely want to do that also, because you just want to block everything that you can. Everything that you can, and basically deny any kind of chariot archery in altogether. Just looking at the giraffes here. And those here. So, let's play a game which ones are Shelties. For more, this is an original map. This is an original map, more. This is exactly what happens on original maps, almost every map. So this is what you are wishing for. So just be careful what you wish for, really. Because you really have no idea, considering your posted RTS-Sanctuary. So basically this could be considered, I think it's a bit closer for Shadowfax. This is probably spawn for Shelty, as instead of spawning on the left side of the Oasis, it's spawned on the right side. So that's gonna be pretty much kinda unfortunate for Shelty, especially considering the fact that he went for the hunting dogs. For the opponent, it's not gonna matter all that much, because he doesn't want to hunt anymore at this point. As well, we are right now looking at Ptach, already halfway there for Shadowfax, whereas for the opponent, it's gonna be a bit later, at 26%. 26%, the upgrades are pickaxe for him, he's having husbandry as well. To be pickaxe here as well, yes it is. How many villages are they having? So, 11 villages on gold. 13 villages on gold for Shelty. For Shelty, and there we go with still having 5 on food. And how much on food, or rather on the goats? Here we are. About 3 to 4, so okay, that's that. Let's see who's gonna be actually switching into farms, or if somebody's gonna be... Oh, I'm thinking this is actually screw up. Does a farm fit there? I don't think that it does. I don't think that actually farm fits there. Yeah, you don't want to build actually monuments that way to block you from any kind of efficiency in there like that. As someone is coming forward, of course, it's gonna be the same for the opponent. Quite definitely, but it seems that he might be just a bit too later. Let's see who's gonna be still faster. This is just a race into the heroic cage. The Egyptians are not gonna be doing anything else in the meantime. You can see right now the goat 176, 177, and 169. Yeah, you can see that a bit more food is actually had for Shadowfax because of the husbandry in there. Well, of course you think that no patch is better because Oranos was undoubtedly the most OP god. And that's what you play. So, and the maps were basically the best abusable for Oranos. So that basically compounded why Oranos was the top god. Because of the bad maps. And because of the god being OP altogether by its design. So I definitely can understand why you want to play unpatched on Oranos. It makes sense for you. Just not really supplying any kind of good arguments for anything else. Yeah, I'm just right now gonna be talking to maybe about some other topics, because of course, at this point, there's really not much going to happen here, as we are just waiting for the heroic ages before the real battle happens in an Eggy mirror. You can see that right now for Shadowfax, this is actually very important point in the game, because in a RAM mirror, the one who gets the first rain is gonna be, of course, having the bigger bonus, because rain is 120% for your farming, but 80% for the enemy. So basically you are having 40% more and better basic efficiency on you. So you can be effectively screwing up the heroic age timing of your opponent. You can see that he's already coming forward. Shelty is just now still waiting. You can see he's stuck at 600. Right now gonna be forced into his own race. At 700 right now he's gonna be coming forward. With advanced at about 723. Whereas Shadowfax is already at 39%. So basically like 25 seconds difference, 20-25 seconds. And that means, yeah, well, that you have to be careful once you are playing a RAM mirror who casts the rain first. You definitely want to be the first one, so it's really has to be kind of interesting moment for the players in that game. Am I gonna be the first one? Am I gonna be the second one? Because if I'm the second one, I'm gonna be screwed up. But I don't want to cast it too soon. Yeah, all those little mind games, really important. And you can see that he did screw himself up. He did screw himself up with the monument. He cannot place a farm between it and the TC. Yeah, better be careful next time. This farm should have been a whole lot more into the middle. And Jeref CB, Shadowfax is also called NoMercy, if you recall that name. He's a vanilla expert. He is a vanilla expert. And kicking ass of all the supposed AOT experts. So yeah, there you go. Vanilla players apparently being quite a lot better than the Titans players. So there we go. Skin of the Rhino for a bit of a defense, of course, at the start of the game. Second TC coming forward for both players. You can see Shadowfax already finished, and he's even leading on the score by about 180 points. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's almost a fifth, actually, at this point. That's really significant. That's really significant indeed, as Demigod is gonna be coming forward to the top side where the gold mine is. So it makes plenty of sense. It's gonna be pretty much the same for the opponent, even though... Oh well, he's gonna be choosing the one in the middle right now, Shelty. That's an interesting choice. We'll be thinking he might be basically really doing what Shadowfax is doing, coming for the gold at the bottom. Secure that position of the map, but I kinda also see the logic in the middle. Because if he places the Migdol here, it's gonna be serving as a protection into the very open side, into his base. So yeah, it does have tactical options, or rather tactical significance, so it's actually a solid decision. Solid decision indeed, and I'm still kind of curious why none of the players are coming for any kind of wall in anywhere. That's fairly surprising to me, because on a map like this, especially with you absolutely knowing that you are gonna be raided by chariot archers, you just need to do it and prevent any kind of actually ways that the opponents could be getting at you. Easy wall here, like a really easy wall here, easy wall there. The one at the bottom, slightly tougher, but if you use this palm tree, it's gonna be fine anyway. It's not really that much of a problem, as the market is gonna be coming up to the top side, and that's gonna be a difficult way actually. Yeah, that's gonna be difficult. They might be getting cluttered, and the pathfinding is not gonna be all that ideal. As there we go, you can see Shadowfax just now discovering Shelty and trying to destroy his farms. Yeah, that's nice. As a player himself, he actually, of course, knows what's gonna be the biggest problem for his opponent. He's gonna be losing all of those farms. He should be having Shadow Fright. Yes, he is. So the farms are not gonna be that expensive, but he still killed about, I don't know, 7-8 farms. Something like that. So that is about 300 gold. I think they cost about 37 after Shadow. 47. Okay, 47. So about 350 gold. Gone just like that. And of course the economy coming with that. So it's quite significant, as Shelty is gonna be coming for encounter with the lion, and after he is done with that, he is of course gonna be getting the third settlement, which is already being captured by Shadowfax as well, as there's gonna be a bit of engagement in the middle, and already some switch of units, as there is gonna be a combination for Shadowfax of... I'm just looking if maybe there's some second Migdal somewhere. No, there isn't. There was a bit of a raiding already. You can see the units dead. Combination of camels with chariot archers, whereas Shelty so far seems to be coming for basically only chariot archers, but he's right now, as he has seen what his opponent is doing, is gonna be producing cavalry as well to help him in that regard in the battle. So Wallin finally coming forward. He does have the relic for cheaper walls, so it's gonna be of course quite helpful to him, but he definitely should be also a bit later continuing with the Wallin there, as that is the most crucial of them all. At the top side, that's gonna be of course helpful in defending the market in that. It's gonna be quite helpful. I would be, if I were honest, I would be doing a wall here as well, and just basically safety measure with the gate, of course, because it's kind of inevitable that this wall, being so far away, is gonna be brought down as well. It's apparently not even gonna be brought up, as the builder has been destroyed by right now timely raiding by Shelty, as both players are 3 TCs building their economies, and the upgrades are probably gonna be missing for both so far. Yep, not even any kind of copper shield yet. Let's check, for example, the economical upgrades, though, the differences. It's gonna be Hendux, irrigation with Shadow, and Shaft Mine. And for the opponent, he's having already Bowsaw, that's nice. He's having Plow. Oh! Shadowfax didn't have Plow, right? Or did he? I'm gonna check back. Plow and Shaft Mine in here. I think he didn't have Plow. Yeah. Oh yeah, because he's having irrigation. Yeah. I was thinking that would be really weird, not having Plow for him. The reason for that is because he's having irrigation already. Okay. So yeah, the economy is better for Shadowfax slightly. Though, ever so slightly. The wood is better, of course, for Shelty, so maybe he's gonna be having better production capabilities for the chariot archers, but it probably isn't going to matter a whole lot, as this wall is gonna be just now finished. It's gonna be siege ranks coming forward, and also some barracks. So barracks are gonna be, I expect, for a few spearmen. Against the camels I would be expecting. Maybe even some slingers wouldn't be that bad. Against, of course, the chariot archers and the camels at 30% piece armor. That's solid, but nothing that couldn't be really overcome all that much. So why not? Us in the middle. Oh well. Somebody's gutsy. Shelty is definitely going for it. You can see 15 cents from Shadowfax, where he has sent an army. Okay, that was basically sending army from about here. From the pursuit, right, into the battle here. As Shelty is gonna be doing the same, sending them somewhere into back to his CC. So that's gonna be basically 5 chariot archers completely useless right about now. So yeah, shifting sands battles quite a bit. And where is the Pharaoh? I don't see the Pharaoh here. Or even some priest. Basically, when you attempt something like this, you absolutely every time need to be empowering it, because otherwise you just basically waiting for this kind of situation to happen. Yeah, that's gonna be gone. You can see the Petsuchai in pretty good numbers for Shadowfax, so that's a difference, of course, from his opponent. And also the reason for all of the monuments inside his base, of course. Makes plenty of sense now that he was going for that. And this is a pretty solid army and something that maybe Shelty will be having problems in dealing with. He will have to produce plenty of... Oh, right now we don't have that. Plenty of priests out of nowhere, so it's gonna be costing him quite a bit of gold, which maybe could be screwing him up somewhere. And he, of course, isn't walling at all. That's something that is really noticeable here, because Shadowfax is, of course, gonna be protected all around. He also finished with the top side in there, finished with the bottom, so he's completely safe all around. Even secondary Migdol is there. So yes, right now, there is a second Migdol already done, right next to another gold mine. Whereas the opponent is coming for another Migdol right next to this mine yet again. But, of course, he's not buying himself any kind of ground. But he probably thinks that he doesn't have to, as that right now this gold and the mining camp right next to this TC are gonna be safe enough for him for the time being, but wouldn't be really too sure. At least he should be walling there and making sure that he's not gonna be attacked by basically the middle push. As Horus is coming forward for Shelty. Well, hello and welcome everyone. But for the opponent is as well, so it's gonna be even faster. So it's not much of a surprise, to be honest, as they do have similar economies at this point. And right now those three dudes, they seem to be basically the game changer so far for this battle, and it seems like that Shelty is not really exactly preparing for it all that much, but he's building Petsuka himself. So he can basically see how Shelty is copying his opponent basically the whole game. When he saw the camels, he started building camels. When he sees the Petsukai, he's starting to build the Petsukai. Yeah, he's kind of reactive, and usually when you are this reactive, you are kind of heading for a loss, to be honest. Because you are just basically reacting to what your opponent is doing. Oh, well, that's gonna be goodbye gold. That's a very good spot, of course, for right now the tornado. How many villagers are gonna die? Probably not all of them, even though they are kind of half dead, so proper raiding into them is gonna be completely slaughtering them. But one Migdol is gone, second is gonna apparently survive. As the siege works are also coming up. But are the catapults are gonna be strong? Not sure. They're actually gonna be even called into action. Wouldn't really think so necessarily, because this army seems to be pretty strong at this stage. You can see that this round, left side Shelty hasn't produced any kind of piece whatsoever. So it's fairly curious. Right now the tornado is gonna be waiting. But he definitely doesn't want to use it against the units all that much. He will want to use it against some kind of forward like here. Or maybe there, right next to gold, and maybe even target the TC a bit, as the 45 TCs are already in. And, well, the battle is not really going all that well for Shelty, but we do hear a lot of upgrades coming forward. You can see Shadowfax bronze weapons coming already in, with heavy chariots. And the copper mail also being in there. Whereas for the opponents, we don't see anything at all. Anything at all, even the chariot archers are not upgraded yet. So, yeah, well, all the chips are right now at the Shadowfax's side of the table, I'm thinking. Well then, so what is actually Shelty going to do at this point? He cannot really go for Titan because we are on hybrid, so that's not really available in here, obviously. He's gonna be switching into barracks, so probably a lot of spearmen gonna be coming forward, I would be expecting. As you can see, the opponent is also coming for the spearman, and that might be yet another part of the reactionary gameplay for Shelty, that he basically has seen a few spearmen, and right now he's gonna be making them as well, so that he can basically match what the opponent is having. But yeah, well, when you are matching your opponent and not really forcing him to match, then that's already inevitably clear who is actually setting the pace of the game. And to be honest, it's kind of obvious here as well that Shadowfax is having more of the game here, and Shelty will have to produce something really spectacular if he wants to advance into the finals, because at this point he is 2-0 down, and he is basically staring defeat into the face, and basically down the throat as well at this point. As the gold is out, and this is something that Shadowfax might not be all that happy about. Oh well. That's quite a few villagers dead. Quite a few villagers dead, and basically, of course, with the supporting army, they're gonna be dying there pretty soon as well, with all of those Udis, so that's actually pretty good trading for him. But is he gonna do anything significant? You can see the 5 Petsukai already. Already 5. Would he be having actually enough resources for the upgrade? I think that would be really well worth it at this point. And you're having 5 of them. Yeah, just do it. Just a better upgrade. You can see that Shelty has broken through the through the walls at the top side, and there were a lone villager in there that was basically guarding it. But he didn't do, unfortunately, a whole lot more in there because he just didn't have the units in there. He was having them in the middle, and you can see Shadowfax is just flooding forward, completely flooding forward with all of those units and everything. And right now the tornado is gonna be useful because it could be really significantly lowering the amount of hit points on the Petsukai. Unfortunately, tornado also took a bit of a chunk out of Shelty's own army, and it doesn't seem to be really willing to go into the Migdal, which is something that he wanted. Oh, come on, can it still kill it? No, it cannot. No, unfortunately it cannot, but if he can produce like a catapult here, he can quite easily get rid of this forward Migdal, and he does have quite a solid army right now, out of nowhere. He was keeping some spearmen somewhere, with copper shields already on them. They are heavy, but the Petsukai are still there, but should be a whole lot easier to actually destroy, as they are kind of like third health right there. But the opponent, he's having probably a whole lot more upgrades. Yeah, he definitely is. Can see heavy spearmen, but iron weapons, copper shields and bronze mail. So much more than what Shelty is having. So you can guess how this battle is gonna be going, even with the camels already being heavy. Well, this seems quite promising right now for that player, but Blue is still fighting. And he still does have, of course, the Migdal, even though it's only one. He does have 4 barracks in there producing the spearmen, and they are doing a pretty good job. Pretty damn good job, but since he didn't repair the Migdal, it seems that, well, just waiting for the catapult to come a bit forward and get rid of the Migdal, and we're not gonna be seeing even that, as Shelty is recognizing that his opponent is having a much better game, and yeah, the technological advantage, champion chariots right there, with of course all the upgrades that we are right now seeing here. And quite of course, running out of gold, he still does have this one, maybe for a bit this one as well, but the trade is not really all that possible. He could be going for a trade from the bottom all the way into his settlement, but yeah, well, it's a bit questionable. It's a bit questionable if it would be really allowed. For how long actually? Shadowfax is on that side already, so he'll be probably figuring out if he somehow saw the camels moving in there, so yeah. His own trade route was pretty much safe, even though there was a break-in. Wasn't anything all that major, and he was the one applying pressure. You can see also already in the top side, where the barracks come in right into the enemy territory, so he was really well in power of the game. And another actually Titans expert toppled by a vanilla expert, so would you look at that. Vanilla players really seem to be so far proving themselves quite strong indeed, as opposed to the Titans players, or in contrast to the Titans players actually, in this combined tournament. Let's check the post game. Where Shadowfax is winning most of it, well, everything actually. Economy, well, significantly better. You can see this is about 3,000 difference to here. That's gonna be making about 6,000 difference more for Shadowfax. Yeah, well, he was having the upgrades better and faster, and the TCs as well, though not really that much, those TCs. And here again, you can see military count, 93 units killed, 59. That's the story of this match, pretty much. And the opposite way for Shadowfax. The advance times really curiously similar. Well, curiously, it's not really that curious when you think about it. It was a mirror. And in how actually Eggy mirrors are played, it's not really that surprising. It just basically means that both are well aware about the proper timings when they should be advancing into the next ages. Yeah, because basic advancing into the next ages is not only about when you are gonna be having the resources, but also about proper time frames. Because if you miss the time frames, you are risking quite a bit that your opponent is gonna be punishing you for missing that frame. Even one Avenger being made by Shelty at the end. Well, those Petsukai were a pretty great idea for Shadowfax though. You can see similar boom, slightly faster for Shadowfax, but ever so slightly. Military high for Shadowfax all the time, but then was a huge increase for Shelty, which was because when he switched into making the Spearman. But then, yeah, well, that just fell apart quite significantly because of the upgrades. Just wasn't able to stand against that. GG.